Pisces, welcome. This is Crow Indigo Intuitive Tarot, and this is your weekly read. Pisces placements, sun, moon, or rising. It is a general reading. It will not resonate for all of you. Hopefully there's something of value in here for each of you to take into your week with you. We're using the Light Seer's Tarot as our base, with the Linestrider Tarot for clarifying pulls. And we'll finish with a Love and Oracle card. An Oracle card from the Love and Magic deck. All right, Pisces, let's see what we have for you. Okay, probably some pivotal events for your personal timeline this week. We've got 3 major arcana showing up. Temperance, the Wheel, the Chariot, followed by the Ace of Swords and the 4 of Cups. There's sort of a relaxing into acceptance that you don't control the timeline, that you don't control the pace of how things move. But there's a strong desire for movement. You are very much ready to move forward. You are ready to take action, to harness the various parts of who you are and direct all of your energy in one specific direction. You're ready for that, but you accept that it's not necessarily in your control. Things are changing in a positive way here this week for you, where you have felt stuck, where you have felt that things were not possible or were challenging to sort of get things going. Things start to move and things start to progress. Maybe there are new opportunities showing up. Maybe things are finally happening. If you've been, trying to rent a new place to live, maybe finally you're getting a signed lease back. If you have been trying to get a new job or to get close some deals at your work, maybe that's happening now for you. If you have been hoping to improve your physical well-being, to improve your health, to tone up your body, to do anything sort of different with your physical self, you start to see some positive results there as well. But it's only when you're not trying to control it that this is going to happen for you. That can be a little bit difficult for some folks, because in our culture, if you want to achieve something, you tend to have to make a plan and take some action and be dedicated to making things happen and putting all of your kind of focus on that project. And that's not really what's happening here. It's saying, foot off the gas to some extent. Let the universe help you. Don't try to tell the universe what is best. Try to listen and be patient. Find a middle path here. That is don't sit on the couch and watch a bunch of television and eat junk food. That's not necessarily going to help you, and you know that, so don't do that. But don't feel like you have to extensively plan and try to control either. So I think that's generally what I'm sensing in these first 3 cards. It feels like a turning point, in a positive way, where you have been feeling stuck, for some change to happen now, for your path to move into a positive space. But it really comes from that moderate approach where you have this patience and you try to balance out your energies. Ace of Swords is this moment of clarity, when it becomes so obvious what the answer is in a situation. It can also be this sense of a new idea, something just, brilliant occurring to you. And the Four of Cups, this is such an interesting energy because there are different ways of interpreting this. But in this reading, it's feeling less like that apathetic kind of energy that sometimes it can be interpreted as, and more of this like making space for your emotional self without being too invested in any particular outcome. To just sort of hit the pause button on forming new relationships, hit the pause button on making significant changes in an emotional context in your life, and just focusing elsewhere for a while, not thinking about your interpersonal connections and your, possibly romance or love, the emotional currents of your life, kind of just putting that on hold, letting that rest a little bit, sometimes I would say that comes with this aspect of evaluating, thinking about how you feel about the connections in your life, but I don't feel that this week. More this week, I feel like you're putting all that emotional stuff on hold, which is, not so easy for Pisces sometimes, but it's possible. People sometimes think that Pisces is always super emotional, and although that's often the case, it's not always the case, is it? You know that. You can be quite rational when you need to be, and I think that this here is a week where you're not focused on love or romance or the compassionate, empathetic connection you have with other human beings. You're focused more on being open to the universe, being open to some positive developments as they arrive, and really just being a little bit more clear on what the universe is trying to tell you. Let's take a look at any clarifying cards that want to come out. Any clarifying cards for Pisces? Clarifying cards for Pisces this week. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. Oh, couple. Clarifying cards for Pisces. One more shuffle. Clarifying cards for Pisces. Okay, we have the King of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. What does that feel like? Feels like there's this it feels like there's a perception issue here. So you want to feel like you're a creative powerhouse and passionate about your life and your projects and your connections with others. But you feel like that doesn't show. You have a sense that you are somehow cut off from being that charming, courageous, charismatic force. That there's something that is blocking you being perceived as a creative individual, and instead you feel like people see you as quite reserved and cautious. And I think that note is entering your reading because the Chariot is such a change and such a motion card. And I feel like where you believe that you've been perceived to be somewhat reserved and not particularly passionate, that's shifting now. The perspective on you that others hold or how you believe they perceive you. See, it gets complicated because it's not necessarily that others see you this way or don't see you this way. It's that you don't believe they see you this way. I hope I'm not losing you. This is a kind of complex to try to explain, but you think people see you as reserved and not particularly powerful or courageous or charming. And we don't know if that's true or not. But your sense that others don't see you that way is changing now. You're starting to believe that, in fact, they do see you as the way you see yourself, as the way you perceive yourself to be, which is, very courageous, holding the potential to be quite a powerful and bold leader, very creative, very passionate. And I think that what it's really speaking to is your perception that people don't see you that way is really your lack of self-confidence. And as your self-confidence grows, which it is definitely going to be doing in this set of circumstances that are coming your way, you start to see that it's just, it's not real. It's your perception. And not only do they not necessarily see you the way you think they do, it doesn't really even matter so much how they see you. It's how you see yourself. It's how you feel about yourself that is the most important thing right now and the key to your potential. Your oracle card. When you feel sad about stuff, hang on. It'll be over in a little bit. I think someone else got this one this week too. So that goes again to perception. How we interpret the emotions we feel is our reality. If you're feeling an emotion and you treat it like weather, knowing it will change, knowing that if it is a sad day, maybe the next day will be a happy day, and that having a sad day is not, it is a transient thing. It's not, I am sad today, I will always be sad. Being able to get out of that perception into a space of, what is this I feel? Okay, I feel sad today. I'm going to let myself feel that. I'm going to move on tomorrow to the next thing. That definitely is a useful way of approaching emotion, and it's sort of where we're at with these clarifying cards. I think it's perception. I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Always an honor. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Blessings.